Already started.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
I told you I was randomly going to start the podcast. Hi, everyone. Welcome to a podcast that's by me. It's probably my first podcast, too. I have Whymeman here and Bakari, and we're going to talk about the new terrible ranking criteria. I mean,
Hello.
you're totally going to talk about how awesome it's not. So,
Hmm.
yeah, that's all I had.
Ah, seriously?
No, I'm just kidding. So, we're going to read what it says in the very beginning, what they first posted, and then we're slowly going to go down and go to lock tabs post and then say what we saw in mod help. I'm pretty sure were you two in mod help when Ztrot was in there?
Honestly, I was away at work, minding my own business with other things that won't drive me insane.
Oh,
But I did get word of it even before I logged on, so I pick up information quite a bit, even before I get to the actual event.
yep.
So
So
yeah.
I do know as soon as they posted the forum thread, about a couple hours later, it started getting a lot of attention. In fact, it got so much attention that the thread was getting posts like I think it was like 3 posts a minute, and that's
I,
really fast for a forum thread.
I think it hit like 41 pages in 4 hours. That's pretty frightening.
Yeah, and then it got locked by Pepe, which was a very awesome thing because what Pepe said was amazing. So we haven't even gone into the details. We haven't even read the discussion. God damn it! I
Oh,
lost the link to the thread.
good job.
All I have
But
is the screenshots. Link
But
me.
yeah, I've heard it did turn to World War X. When that thing got posted, it was. I heard it wasn't pretty. And, like I heard, like Reddit exploded with that stuff, and some other forums like exploded with all that, like with a lot of rage and stuff. I mean, it's pretty awful. I mean, especially when you're the main poster posting something that stirred so much anger and twist and like it's like getting your favorite food but it's been cooked horribly. It's like it's that kind of feeling. It's just that upsetting,
Yeah,
and no one likes to have that kind of thing happen, especially when they're hungry.
it's like going to
But
a store that only sells Dr. Thunder, not actual Dr. Pepper.
oh god.
The
But but,
disappointment in that,
but
I
one
know.
thing though, realistically, as far as I see, um, Ztrot really took the bullet for that one. Actually, ammo clips of that, from all that rage because I mean, right now people are looking at, mostly him and like, what the hell are you posting? But of course, as long as I've been bat, as far as I remember, yes, we do things, a little differently here and there as a member, but we still have to work as a team, especially when it comes to, like structures that could affect the game greatly, so greatly that the community needs to be involved. But it's just for the past couple of months or maybe past year, I noticed just so little involvement with the staff that it's frightening. It's really frightening, especially when I heard about this rule thing, and then when I was reading up on it, honestly, the first thing I thought is like, what the hell? This goes against the mapping principles and ethics that we followed for so many years through the game. Because as far as I believe, as a bat, I mean, there's a certain principle that we have to follow when you're making, like, especially with rules. Like, yeah, you have to balance the rules of mapping. If you don't balance the rules, it's gonna get either too restrictive or too lenient. But the way that rule was posted, it was just so restrictive that it's like you're putting shackles on every mapper in the game. Because that, I mean, just the idea of it, it destroys collab maps, joint maps, stuff like that. It just wrecks things. I can understand, yeah, we need to change, but come on. I mean, you got to think about the people more, not just think of what's best for them without actually, like talking to them. I mean, assuming what's best is not good. I mean, you got to really plan these things out. You can't just do it.
Yeah,
It's just, I mean, yeah, politics is not fun, but at the same time, this it's not like you're running a country. I mean, this is actually controllable, but it's just the way things are done is unlogical. We're just jumping into things like let's do this, let's do that. This is best for them. Oh, let me follow this statistics, not what people actually say. Is like statistics is just statistics. They're just statistics. I mean, statistics could be controlled, or it could be a small fraction of the big picture. I'd rather, yeah, if it was me, I'd rather investigate and thoroughly talk to people and communicate with them. But just doing things that harms the rights of mappers and players together it's just wrong. It's just straight up wrong. Especially now, it's like nobody really knows what the staff is doing or who they're really going to communicate with. I mean, people are suffering here. I mean, I never seen so much suffering going on for so many years. I mean, even as I retired, I noticed things are just getting out of hand. It's like I don't know. It's just really frightening how things are becoming, and yet it's just letting it get worse and worse to the point where it's like, is anybody gonna do anything, or is the game gonna eventually die? Of course, many people are gonna say the game's not gonna die because it's still popular, but games can die if something seriously goes wrong internally. We got to think about that carefully.
Google Plus. I'm sorry, I
Because I
had to
mean,
mention that.
I don't know, like realistically though. I mean, there's things that piss me off. I mean, I could list them, but you know what? I'd rather not start another war here or anything. But there's certain things, like let's see. Well, we already kind of covered the rules, that rule topic. But I mean, is there anything else you want to add to it before I get into this next topic?
Yeah, how about we actually tell them what we're talking about and actually read it, so that way people who are just jumping into this have an idea of what the fuck we're talking about.
Okay. Good
so,
point. Good point. Well, yeah, because
luckily Bakari posted the forum link right there, so I can just read it to everybody, and we are just going to, yeah, go through the very first thing they tried to do, and then we're gonna go through Octave's like explanation of like what they're gonna try to revamp it, and then I'm going to say what Zetron said in the mod help as they're saying as he said or she, I don't really know what that they're going to force it no matter what. Basically, when I talked to Zetrot, or I just said one line, I said just remove the second rule completely, and he said it's not going to happen. Meaning they're going to add some limitation. They really want to add some limitation, but
um,
as you know, Pepe is not informed of any of this, or at least he says he's not. And he said he hasn't read any of it, and he definitely locked the topic, and he was not happy about it, which made me happy because maybe there's a chance that second rule can get completely voided no matter what Zetron says, and that would make me super happy.
well, I can't really promise it'll be easily voided, but we'll see how it turns out. But and for some restriction, I wouldn't say some. I would say heavily restricted, because only like one type of difficulty. Like you can only have one easy, one normal, one hard, and one insane, one extreme, or whatever. You can't even have two. I mean, that's freaking bars and chains to the mappers right there, and there's no room for guest difficulties. I mean, like you can't have two normals or any of that in between. That's kind of brutal. I mean, really, that's just too brutal. I mean, we never had that issue.
Yep. Here, let's
Yeah,
read right here as it says, "Hello everyone, Z-Trot here with some exciting news. So exciting, so many ragers, from all that exciting news.
yeah, I
From
would not
today,
say exciting.
yeah, don't say exciting. That was the least exciting thing everyone saw. It actually
Yeah.
made people like cry, and I know some of those people who were crying. From today on, there will be a new format in which mapping, beat map, set, work will work. Oh my god, that was weird. This falls in line with our goals to make as many of the maps here at Osu accessible to all players of many skill types. So limiting maps just gives so much more variety and yeah, whatever, fuck that rule. This new rule might seem scary at first, but fear not, as we don't want to forget our professional Osu players either. Okay.
Um,
Okay.
wait, what? What?
I don't know.
Okay, okay. Now I'm starting to get a little fired up here. I mean, professional players, come on. I mean, it's realistically, it's not that hard to make a wider spectrum of difficulties for other players. It's just how the system's been functioning. They seem to have ignored what's been displayed on the platter, and it just literally just been like, oh, okay, pass, boom, okay, pass, boom. It's like, but what about the actual range of difficulties? I mean, is there enough maps for the lower level players? Is there enough for those in the middle? Is there? I mean, actually, there's probably plenty for high level players as it is. I mean, because that seems to be quite mainstream these days, anyways.
And Bakari is saying, well, it was exciting for sure. So excited. And he also said it was taking away the right to decide set size. Wait, hold on. Right to decide set size away from mappers. Come on, you people making me read things that are just weird. So, next Citron said, the new restructure will not be retroactive, as there are a lot of maps with icons so far though the modding process. Though. Okay, through the modding process. Typos. Therefore, if your map has any type of icon set, be it bubble pop, disqualification, or bubble, it will not need to follow the new restructure. However, which is not spaced away from that period, which is very aggravating. Did I even try on this thread? Okay, however, all new maps or maps without icons will be asked to make changes to their existing sets. So guys who have all, nine, when they first released this changed right away, thanks to Locktaff, but that it was shut down instantly anyways. But basically what they're saying, you people who have 9 difficulties on your song, fuck you. You haven't submitted you don't have it, during the qualification process yet. Fuck you. That's what they just said there. Basically,
Yeah,
you have to delete all those difficulties and there's no chance for you to get it ranked because fuck you.
I could see this turning into a grand mappers race because
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
once that rule hits, it's I mean, ugh, I could see it getting ugly still. I mean, no matter how much they change it, because I've heard they try to improve it to two of the same difficulties per map set, but what about those collabs where you got like, let's say 13 or so difficulties, those crazy huge collabs or something? I'm pretty sure those could get roasted unless they make it as a guideline, so to say. But if they try to force it as a rule, I can already see so much friction going on between, oh, you can't have more than two of these difficulties, and like, come on, it's supposed to be like a mass collab project, and yet if there's no respect towards that, it's also going to be a huge problem. I mean, because come on, I mean, like I said, the years I've been in this game, I mean, we've always followed, like the mapper principle, mappers principles and ethics of respecting the freedom and also controlling, help controlling the rights and making sure the quality is okay. Like we got to keep it balanced basically. But when you're forcing rules and ideas that you think is right without actual like input or thorough investigation, things like this happen, and this leaves people with more distrust of the staff. When such impact happens. I mean, we already had enough problems before. I mean, well, with the previous stuff, but we can always get into that another time. But with this whole mess here, it's like everybody's wondering or panicking, like, okay, what's going to happen now? Will my map get qualified in time? Which a lot of people are already struggling, like seriously struggling with that as it is before this new rule pops up, and there's some that would probably just flat out give up. I mean, well, more would probably give up at this point if they can't make it, and then they struggle even more. I mean, I don't know, but as far as I'm seeing out here, there's just way too much friction going on, and there's already enough friction as it is. So we're just making a Big Mac of friction here.
Yep. All right. Well, continuing on reading, so that way we can just, well, read. Uh, just so we can make fun of it or, criticize it in the best way we can. Now, I do know that what Ztrot was trying to do was help the community here, but it didn't work.
No, not the way it was presented.
Yeah.
I
It,
mean, he tried to present it with a soft blow, but he ended up taking a lot of bullets.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure not even he suspected this much, hate for it. I mean, there was no, my voice cracked there, but there was a lot of hate for it, and I mean a lot of hate. So, going to the next line, he says, first of all, we reworded the current spread rule. All difficulties in each game mode have to align in a linear and progressive spread. You can add one ultra difficulty past an expert difficulty that does not increase linearly in difficulty with the rest of the spread. Keep in mind that Ultra is a placeholder term used to reflect a high and in difficulty that has not been specified with a name yet. We put that name in place so you guys know what we are talking about when we want to refer to the high end difficulties of a map set. And then it shows a picture and it shows the easy, normal, hard, insane, and expert all having a linear balance, you know, equally spread out from each other. And it says gap size to ultra does not matter. So 50-star ultras, come on, people, let's get it going. You can also this is so that's the first thing they said, and that's about the new spread system.
Mm.
And
I
eh,
don't know. The spread, honestly, it should have never been a problem. I mean, it has been a bit of a rough tide in the past. Like some people making hards and insane pairs or normal hard pairs. But I mean, honestly, it shouldn't really be a problem if the maps were thoroughly inspected before, like qualifying and stuff like that. But even then, as long as the maps are properly and thoroughly qualified, like, well, not qualified, but checked before qualified, the qualification process could go a whole lot smoother. Instead of missing little things here and there that that piles up into a mess. But like I said, the whole spread thing should have never been a problem. I mean, it should be more of a controlled issue. But things happen, I guess.
yep, Bakari actually just sent a beat map, and I'm gonna actually load it here in the game. Oh, it accidentally opened up, showing me saying with Bakari's chat,
Oh my
trying to get
god.
him into the call here. He was very not willing to do it. Well, we still couldn't get him to talk, but we tried.
All of those extreme level difficulties. Holy crap.
Hold on. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight insanes. Well, one's called an extra, but or two are called an extra, but the game sees them as insanes. One, two, three,
Phew.
four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10 extras. Holy shit, that is a ton of extras. Three hards, two normals, and a beginner. What? Only one easy, guys? Come on now. You have 20 insanes with an easy. Just one
Yeah.
lame little easy.
And with that new rule, if it really does get through, then bye bye this map.
Oh yeah. So I'm just gonna open this in Osu.
Welcome to Tokyo.
Asphyxia. Okay. Yeah, this was the one that a lot of people were saying.
Welcome to Tokyo. Welcome to Tokyo.
So that is definitely a huge map. I can't really play it because of copyright. God damn it, copyright. I played the first like 3 seconds already, so that's pretty much all I can show. Rip. And, oh,
Wait, this map is unrankable due to this. Wow, wow.
yeah. Um.
Oh, there goes a protest there.
Oh yeah, this was a huge issue, especially since Asphyxia. I don't know if I'm saying that name correctly. I'm totally sorry if I'm not. Please forgive me. But
Yeah, that's right. That's
okay,
right.
that's right. But
Yeah.
this looks like it had a ton of work put into it, and I mean a ton of work. And are they going to exclude all of that work? I don't understand why they're doing that. I mean, it's stupid in my opinion because like you can
Yeah,
control what gets ranked.
because I don't know. I mean, like I said, this whole thing never was a huge issue in the past. I mean, like I was saying, and going back to the mass collapse. I mean, this really attacks them horribly, like horribly. I mean, and if this most likely is going to get through anyways. I mean,
No,
they're probably going to push it to the max to get it through, and then once it does get through, you're not really going to see these kind of mass collab maps anymore. It's going to kill them off completely. I mean, there's already so many things getting killed off in this game as it is. I mean, you're killing off another big feature here. Next thing you know, what is there left to kill off? I mean, yourself?
lol. Okay, but first we're gonna go to the next thing they said. Here's the second thing that Zetrot said that pissed everyone off. That created petitions. Everyone was angered by this one simple paragraph. So here we go. Secondly, we limited the amount of difficulties of the same level per game mode. Instant bullshit. Every map set is limited to one of each difficulty level per game mode. While
Let's
this
see.
while this appears to be very limiting at the beginning, the hybrid set rules stay intact. Don't forget that every key count in Osu is considered as individual game mode. As in individual game mode. 2. If you wish to get your map sets with multiple difficulties at the same level ranked, we advise you to split it off into a new map set. So
That's
basically,
uh,
so okay, so what he just said here, what the fuck? I gotta create 3 of the same song to get a variety out there? Is that what you're telling me? What
more
you're
like probably 5 at this rate.
but like, what's the point of doing that? I mean, I don't understand what he's trying to do here. If you're trying to
Well,
prevent the rule, like if you're trying to prevent a system, and then tell them you're basically telling them how to exploit the system after implementing the system. That's like, are you dumb? I'm
I don't
sorry,
know. I mean,
Zitra.
honestly, I don't know. Well, I don't know. Like I said, he's mostly taking the bullets for the whole staff, technically. But really, realistically, it's how can I put this? It's like a minority group that try to push this rule at the moment. I mean, that's why Pepe had to step in, and he was like, "Okay, guys, what the fuck? I mean, I didn't even get any word of this, and I'm just gonna lock this topic because until I get shit straight." Because
Yep.
I'm just gonna say it as it is. I mean, even understanding where he's coming from. We may have some rough terms here and there, but I can understand clearly where he's coming from, and I'd be pissed off too if things are being done under the rug without any consent or any clarification. This, like I said, when you're doing things or pushing things that you think is going to help the community without actual thorough investigation or proper input, things like this is going to happen. And let's see what Bakari has to say here, because you don't want to leave him out here. Come on.
Yeah, the issue with sets like this is that 60 to 70% of difficulties are inaccessible to a big part of players. And
Hmm.
that's what this rule was trying to solve. However, it didn't really work. Mapping 5 easies to make such sets rankable, then adding 5 normals and 5 hards and 5 different backgrounds. Or, is that what you mean? Backgrounds? Just for the variety stuff. Or do you mean backgrounds? Or like, is there like another word for that? I'm sorry, another acronym for that?
Well,
Oh,
just have 5 different sets. Like, if you
oh,
had to
okay.
split the map into 5 different sets just to have, all the difficulties ranked, then it's like, why would you want to clone, the map over and over and over and over? It's like it gets redundant, and honestly, that's an interesting point because, I mean, I remember, like you can only submit a certain amount of maps or something, and stuff like that, and to have 5 of the same map sets just piled up in your profile is kind of weird. It's just think of as weird. Ugh, it's actually awful. I don't even know how the databases got to take that either. I mean, yeah, there's money to store stuff, but Still, that's just gonna bloat things.
Yeah. So here we go. Let's go for the next next thing he said. The third thing that he said that I agree with, and a lot of other people personally agree with, is at last we altered the requirements for approval beat maps. Approval map sets must have one difficulty that is either an easy, normal, hard, or insane. Your map set must contain an insane difficulty if an expert or ultra difficulty is present. This means that every approval containing only an expert or ultra difficulty must receive a second difficulty. If you do not wish to map more than one difficulty for your approval sets, we would advise you to keep the single difficulty at insane level or below. Like,
Well, yeah, I guess, but still, it's like, whew, I don't know. That's a tough one there.
rip my 10-hour marathon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, geez. I mean, I don't know, but some maps do become overkill, but still, I mean,
It's a fun of the game. Like everything will freeze and like what's it? What's one of those newer ones? Free? I can't say that map name, but it starts with an F. Feruso, Mandoli, I don't know. Something like that. It was a long 7-star map. Very fun.
yeah, but it's still, it's like, I don't, it's getting a little out of hand. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully they'll review this whole thing a little like more thoroughly, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I still can't really see them budging too much. Besides, at least making it, like two of the same difficulties, per map set. Like allowance, which is, ugh, it's still got to be very tough on a new generation of maps. I mean, it's already tough enough as it is, just getting them qualified and and what the current generation is going after. I mean, but I don't want to really go too far off into that topic because right now we're addressing this whole rule thing.
Yep.
But still, I mean, I remember certain the marathons were just straight up hard. Like because there's especially when there's supposed to be like hardcore stuff. But if they're restricting it that much, who knows? Maybe there was some complaints like like a 7-star extreme level marathon that has like little room for lower level players. I mean, I can understand. Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to have a lower difficulty marathon, but who's going to sit down for so long trying to figure out a way to dumb it down some? That's another thing. But it's like it's just too much going on. It's beyond a double-edged sword kind of thing.
Yeah. I think the third rule should be improved a little because approval maps are around 5 minutes, I believe, are over, right? So I believe if it's 10 minutes or longer, it shouldn't be an issue if they had a just a long 6 or 7 star ultra to go with it. That's a marathon.
Well,
Be-
even if it's a marathon, well, sorry to interrupt. I mean,
oh, it's
like even if
fine.
it's like a 5 to 10 minute marathon, I don't really see the rule giving any leeway towards that. I mean, most likely it'll probably ask or demand for a lesser level difficulty to accommodate it, because like as was stated, in the post, they want to make the level, like the beat maps more playable to a more broader spectrum of levels. But the thing is, it's like the way it's approached or is approaching the mappers. It's like, yeah, we want a better spread, but at the same time, we're going to have to, you know, like compact, how many difficulties you're making in a map. So good luck with you guys. It's like wow, like really. I mean, you can't just like tell the BNs or the QATs to just investigate the maps a little more and just inform the mapper, hey, you need this difficulty, you need that difficulty, improve the spread a little more. Nothing like that. It's just boom, slap the rule together.
Yeah. All right.
And oh, let's not forget Bakari, because
Yeah.
he's yeah.
He's part of it. We just kind of ignore him. So
Okay.
he says hold on, where did we leave off here? Pretty much every popular anime opening gets ranked 3 to 10 times from various mappers, and we end up having over 20 Miros. God damn, I can't forget about
Really?
that. And a
Good
lot of ranked
grief.
ones. That's pretty cool, actually, but imagine making a marathon for 15 minutes, long breakcore stuff.
Whew.
The BPM is extreme, and so is the map. And now suddenly you have to make a simplified version, which wouldn't even fit. That is
Yeah.
a great point, because
Yeah.
some maps are like 280 BPM or 260 BPM, and they are meant, they're long, like the Dragon Force maps, and it just,
Whew.
yeah. I can't
Well,
imagine making an
yuck.
easy Dragon Force map, you know? Like, have you not seen Root of Fire and
It's
Flames?
oh gosh. I mean,
Fire.
just the thought of simplifying breakcore. It's that's very difficult, honestly. I mean, I've picked some unusual song choices in the past, and sometimes they're very difficult because of what you have on the table. You know, it's like a jigsaw puzzle or a pile of Legos. You got a certain set of pieces to put together to make it work. But breakcore, on the other hand, it's like it goes way beyond that. I mean, it's a whole mess if you don't know how to even synchronize the setup with the notes and the beats and the flow. I mean, like how can I put it? A beat map with no flow, just no. It just shouldn't even be there, honestly, because every map has to have a flow. If you don't have a flow, then there's no direction, and playing a map with no direction is worse than not having a GPS. And I'm being serious because seriously, no one likes being lost playing a beat map.
That's like, oh, I couldn't even imagine. That's like, I was scared for my life when I heard, like, no GPS. I was just like, oh my god, I just realized if I went out without a GPS one day, I'd get so lost. I would
Yeah,
just.
and I've played some maps that just had such a broken flow that it's like exactly when do I tap and how do I tap, and it's like it doesn't make sense, especially with with the like with trap music, for example. I mean, like trap songs or breakcore. As far as I notice, it's more delicate to map than a normal song. Yeah, especially like dubstep is, I guess, it's more easy to catch on depending on the type of music, but like breakcore, breakbeat, um, stuff like that. If you don't pay attention to the flow as your map, it's automatic disaster. I mean, that's to tell you the flat out truth. It's automatic disaster if you don't pay attention. Yeah, it's the same for every beat map, but some maps are very easy to break a flow.
Yeah. Alright. So, now we're going to get into the lock tabs post. Oh god. Here we go. But after, actually, I need to mention Pepe's post first. When Pepe locked the thread, he says, "This has been released without consensus from the whole team. Not sure why. Locking for now, pending further internal discussion. We already have more than enough feedback in this thread. Holy crap, fastest moving thread ever on the OSU forums?" Just, something he said in, the little brackets. All right, rest assured, we won't be pushing this on anyone just yet. I haven't even read the opening post here. So, Peppy was not informed, and somebody messaged me. I'm just gonna ignore him.
Well, realistically, this wasn't the only time something like this happened, but well, yeah, that's how things are going right now. And let's continue down further to what this topic says.
Yeah. Uh, Bakari said productive feedback. Sure. Yeah.
Productive. Oh my god.
Yeah. All
Every
right.
time I hear that word or term, it's oh god.
All right, so he said assisting Zetro's proposal to move it into the desired path here. If you have any questions, okay, feel free to contact him about it. Ha, Logtab immediately pushing his words on the Zetron Kappa.
Contact him.
Yeah, contact Zetron, not
Well,
me. Don't contact me. This isn't me. This is Zetron. That's what I see. What he's saying here. All right.
well,
Given
like,
the misconceptions, don't talk. I'm trying to read. Okay. Alright, given the misconceptions of the way the original amendment was worded, we came up with a better regulation. Even though Pepe hasn't even agreed to it yet, you just started doing shit on your own again. That reflects the intended change in a better way without implying more restrictive behavior than actually wanted. Along with that, we attempted to improve the free form of designing your spread a bit while maintaining the basic idea behind the changes proposed. Yeah, screw how all of you don't want change, and screw how the community doesn't want it. We're gonna do what we want because we are people. Okay, I don't know. I
Because
just,
of statistics.
yeah, it's dictatorship. You can map up to 6 difficulties in a map set per game mode. Bullshit. Okay, but the lowest difficulty of your set must be below 2 stars. All difficulties must be evenly spread apart and offer a linear progression. However, you can add a bonus difficulty. For that, the highest difficulty of your evenly spread set must be above 5.25 stars. The bonus difficulty does not have to align with the rest of your map set's spread, but must be hardest of the entire map set. Still not limiting star difficulty, so you can have a 20 star. Alright, you must not have more than two difficulties of the same level in your map set per game mode. Approval maps are allowed to have only one difficulty if they're not expert level. If it does, it needs an additional difficulty of insane or hard level. Maps over 10 minutes of drain time do not count for this rule and have a single difficulty of any level. Basically, Loctave said exactly what I said earlier without me even saying. I didn't even read that part. Good
So
game.
like I have a 10 plus minute easy map and no problems.
Yeah, it's easy, so easy to make though. You just have to use white text. I mean, there's nothing more to it than that. If
And
you
copy pasta.
ha 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 ha, copy paste, copy paste.
I can
um,
already see it happening.
this basically allows. All right, so just continuing on. This basically allows multiple constellations of map sets, given that every individual difficulty is spread apart from each other in a linear way. So you're not allowed to have two or three of one difficulty. Now it's limited to two. You can have a easy, a normal, a hard, two insanes, and an extra because if it's the 6 difficulty rule plus an ultra, so you can have 7 difficulties. So the max here is 7, but there's
Well, with a given tolerance, I mean, really, like you got a restricted limit of 6, but like you said, yeah, you could do the bonus difficulty if it goes outside the spectrum range, or so to say. But if it's within that range, like if it's below that 5.25 difficulty level, then that ultra is not gonna fit.
But what the worst part is he's saying a normal, normal, hard, hard, insane, insane, extra, extra, plus an ultra is not fine. But why not? I mean, why? I don't understand why you can't have a spread of multiple difficulties like that. I mean, we weren't really restricted in the past. A lot of people like to, have those giant collab maps, so you don't have to see the same song being mapped over and over, and many
Yeah,
people can still play that
yeah,
one map.
yeah. Because honestly, the way this is gonna be, it's gonna be over redundancy and a lot more stress to the mapping qualification system. Because you gotta check the same thing over and over, and it gets exhausting, really. I mean, like no lie, I used to mod maps for like maybe one map for the maybe 2 hours to make sure there's no problems, and then typing everything, listing every single problem bit by bit. I mean, it gets exhausting, really, even after 1 hour if you're really doing it for that long. And it's a really it's a really sensitive job, really, that has to be taken more seriously. You can't just skim over something and, let's say, not check the offset. I mean, like, the timing is the base of the foundation for any beat map. If you don't start with the timing, the house is gonna fall apart, just like that. And especially, like, looking at this whole difficulty spread thing as well. Going back to that. I mean, let's see. So he's got normal, hard, insane, and then 3 extremes, and an ultra is not okay because you know because, like you said, you can't have more than two of the same level difficulty. So you can't have 3 extremes. And let's see, there's another one: two normals, two hards, two insanes, two extremes, and an ultra is not fine because it exceeds the cap of the 6+1. And then let's see, easy normal, two hards, three insanes, not fine because it exceeds the cap of 6 and can't have more than three insanes. So they can't be duplicate difficulties for one, and you got to have a certain level. So, but like I was saying about the ultra thing, if your ultra ends up being like an insane level, that's where you run into that dead end there, because it'll be an insane and then SOL.
Exactly.
And truthfully speaking, it's not always easy to pull an extreme level because, I mean, realistically, if you really want to make an extreme level, and depending on the map, some maps don't even give you the the forgiveness to even push such a difficulty unless you literally overmap or something like that. You know, like do something that's just unethical to even make a difficulty. And if it has to go to that extreme, I wouldn't even do it because then it just wouldn't be a logical map anymore. Especially putting notes or where there's no beat, stuff like that, just to make up for it. It's no, 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 no. Now beat maps are supposed to be made to go with the beat and the flow of the song, not just macaroni pasta put together, you know, cut and paste scissors, like super glue things together. Come on.
Yeah. And I like how they changed this without telling anybody in the community.
Especially looking under, that post right after, Pepe's like, really? You had to post after what I just said, even before I got to read anything? And then he posts some picture of a worm with a cast on its neck or whatever the hell that is.
I don't know why. It looks like that the worm's like tongue from SpongeBob. You remember when they like attack that worm?
Or something like that.
Yeah, I don't
Or
know.
maybe an octopus tentacle with a wristband. I don't know.
I'm gonna save the image real quick just to see what the name is. It's okay. Never mind. He didn't give it any special name. Rip.
I don't know. I would not even try to imagine where that came from, anyways. But I could imagine him being pissed because after you just made that post, and then all of a sudden, it's like you just step in after the calm of the storm, or at least after the storm, and then you make the storm come back. I was like, come on. He's like, really?
Yeah, it was as soon as he posted that, the chat blew up again, and Pappy probably woke up and was probably like, "This motherfucker right here, blowing it up again." And
I mean, honestly, what I don't like about this is, um, well, I'll just use the most generic term that we all know, like backseat moderating here. Like this is like real backseat moderating at the moment. Like so you're telling me if I have questions about it to go to Ztrot, but you're like posting stuff about these rules and everything on your own accord, but you're still directing all the stuff to Ztrot, and it's like, so who do I really talk to? That's the thing. And then people's like, wait, so you're throwing everything on him, but you're still doing stuff here in the background. I mean, that's not cool. You're trying to make the guy a living crosshair target here, like those paper things in a shooting range. You're hanging him out there, and it's like that's not cool. That's really not cool. You're putting him as a scapegoat here when you're supposed to be working together as a staff, which some people actually consider as a joke. Working together.
it's kind
Yeah,
of
I've been
true.
around too long. I've been around too long. I've heard that joke so many times.
Ha ha.
But realistically though, I mean, it kind of gets me mad, but at the same time, I just can't put any energy towards getting worked up because it's like, for one, I'm retired, but it still bothers me, and two, why it's just getting too deep into it. It gets really stressful, especially how you could see just like it's like a team's made of multiple clans or factions or something instead of just being one whole group that works together. It's really divided, not just the community but the team, and it's like that's why you get so much friction like this. It's insane.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if they worked with us, the modding community, none of this would have happened. But what's worse is they didn't really work with anybody from the modding community. QAT, some council members, beat map nominators, all all those, some pretty popular known mappers. All of these people complained about it. I mean, there's so many people giving, constructive criticism right away saying, no, this is stupid. Why are you doing this? Don't pull YouTube. Please, god damn it, do not pull fucking Google. And just force this on us when nobody will like it. And if they actually do start forcing these things on us, I feel like it is said to be approved by the council, but some members are disagreeing. So how so what?
Like I said,
Yeah.
with the council thing or council quotation, honestly, I feel it's run by a minority, and even though even though like I said, I'm retired, there's certain things I could easily pick up just by thinking about it. Thinking about it because I've been around through the whole mess for too long that I could already get an idea of what happened. And some people are already used to knowing what's going on, even when they're not told anything, because it seems like a habitual thing now. It's like it just like it just exploded just like that, and then people's like, we never heard of this, and even if members of the actual council, like in a majority size, has a big disapproval of it, that means yeah, a certain select people that were picked just to say yes to it, which is really one-sided. Honestly, that's just extremely one-sided to force this change. And it's like if it's going down that far, I don't even know what else is going to be happening later on this year. I mean, if this is going to happen, who knows what else is coming? I mean, it does probably bother a lot of people. Just probably thinking of the same thing as me, but still, they can't work like this forever. I mean, it's really gonna break the community as it is, and they already came close to starting a community war, so to say, for the previous issues. But this really came close to starting one, or maybe it might have already began one. Who knows?
Yeah, a lot of people said they were going to continue mapping, even with this restriction. They said they would actually continue mapping. They're not going to stop. But,
Yeah, they'll
uh,
probably map the same way like they always do in protest, if anything.
there's going to be a lot of protests. And if this actually goes through, I know there's going to be many protests. So many protests. All the protests in the world.
I can imagine the Reddit forums being overloaded with
Oh my.
insanity. I don't read Reddit or anything, but I've heard things from other people about it. It gets crazy.
I wouldn't even get on Osu for. Let's see. I don't think I'd get on Osu for a long time, except for the beat map for Searle, because I do kind of have to work on that. But that would be the only reason I'd be getting on Osu. I wouldn't talk to anybody. I wouldn't be playing the game. I wouldn't be mapping, well, other songs. Just because, all that hell that will be going on when this gets released in the way. And the fact that Ztra even said that it's going to be released in a specific way, and it said the second rule is going to be implemented in some way, even if it's going to be revised, without Peppy saying anything, just made me like, whoa. It's like, does he have that amount of power? Do they have the power to just change the ranking system just like, what they like?
Honestly speaking, that should never be.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it could be a community manager, or it could be, like the guy that spectates, or the commentator, whatever. But power should not be stepping out of bounds, no matter what. I mean, really, it should not step over out of bounds like that. I mean, and this is like going out of bounds to the extreme right now. That's why there's so much friction with Loctav and Pepe right now, because it's not the only time he stepped out of bounds in certain issues. And if you're going out of bounds, especially like Pepe's always the top of the pencil of the triangle here. And if you're trying to step over in that tip, and and you fall on that tip, it's gonna hurt, because
Oh, yeah.
realistically, you're not supposed to be on the top like that. I mean, yeah, community manager is probably like second or third highest in charge, but still, you can't just step out of bounds when the top is there. I mean, that's honestly probably I wouldn't say probably that is disrespectful to him, so to say, because first of all, if he's stepping in there, that means something's wrong. As far as I've been around for a while, anytime he's to step into something like any form, just like that, and he has to go in there as and actually physically get it under control, something is seriously wrong. Especially for what he said that he's not informed or anything. That's a lot of miscommunication going on there. That's well, that's beyond miscommunication. That's horrible. That's just it's extreme. Yeah, like I said, extremely divided. It's extremely broken.
Yeah. Something interested me actually. Mill said something in the chat before Ztrot actually came on, saying that Pepe said some form of agreement, saying go for it, to one of Ztrot or Locktap, somebody. I don't know. He said go for it. I don't think that means hey, actually do it right away, force it onto us immediately, but. He did say go for it somewhere, and that's all the information I had. And Millie is the one who told me that. But he said it in a public chat, so I'm not afraid to say it here. He said it right in Mod Help in front of everybody, and yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe. Well, I already can imagine a scenario in my head. Like maybe when Pepe said go for it, maybe he was thinking, oh, maybe it's just something, like just a basic post up, and then like the normal process, well, how how when the rules are proposed, and then people go over it and stuff like that. He was thinking, maybe most likely like that is like, okay, maybe just propose a new rule, and then they go over it with the community, blah blah blah, until it's improved, and then it's good to go. But he didn't expect that it'll be forced in without any approval or consent whatsoever, to the point where it causes this massive hurricane shitstorm that once again almost broke the community in multiple pieces. Well, more pieces than it's already broken. I mean, it's already seriously got fractured from, like I said, the last major event with the BN incident. But this here, it's like guns are being fired here. Like, and even after the topic's been locked, guns are still being fired because people are like, what the hell is going to happen now to the beat maps that has multiple +10 or so difficulties and such. I mean, that's already going to kill the mass collab system. Yeah, it's going to kill the mass collab system as it is, and people find it disrespectful to the mapping in general. It's like, come on. I mean, mapping's supposed to be fun, and mapping's made to be enjoyed by others. When it's out there, you get your score. People have fun, enjoy their maps. Like, okay, let's do multi, blah blah blah. It's a cool map. None of the you know blood, sweat, and tears and agony that I'm seeing all over the place just to get something qualified, and only to find out people spit on your face, because you're getting your stuff approved, and while they're struggling, like a person in poverty, can't even get anything done because they don't have the credentials to get it done. It's really one-sided here.
Yep, that's very, very, very true. Just like Bakari said, normally rules are proposed and discussed with the community first. Of course, you are allowed to propose stuff, but just not force it, which is what they did. They forced it. Well, they tried to force it. It instantly got denied by Pepe, which was great. Thanks, Pepe.
And the community as well, that almost burned the community down.
Actually, hold on. He just posted. Bakari just posted a link. Let me just look.
What is this?
Oh, it's actually finalized. Oh, it's actually being proposed now. Ha ha ha! That's what I thought. And that proposal is just gonna go down the drain.
Well, honestly, I'm gonna still see a lot of backlash from it, and I'm gonna be sitting very, very far away on a chair where there's no bombs or bullets flying while I got my popcorn.
Yeah, well, yeah, well, that goes on. Blah blah blah. It's not gonna. This kind of gonna leave a small scar on the OSU community. If it gets implemented, nobody's gonna like it, and if it doesn't, it's just gonna leave that tiny scar that says, "Wow, I can't believe they tried to do that." And if they ever do that again, it's gonna create some serious complications. Uh,
I wouldn't call that a small scar. Maybe like a deep wound that was
yeah, it'll heal over time.
that that actually reopened.
Yeah, there we go. And like you said, a lot of this stuff, I think the staff are just not communicating with each other, and that is something I do not want to see. So,
Realistically, I feel really stopped communicating ever since that new qualifying system, was like implemented sometime after it started. And then they start using disqualification bots, which when I first start seeing that, I was like, what is this mess? I mean, at least a lot of people they compare, when comparing an old and new system, they like to bash old things without a second thought. But honestly, I like the old system better for the fact that at least those that are checking your maps are actually socializing with you to say, hey, there's something wrong with your map here, this and this, but if you could fix it, then we could take care of you, blah, blah, blah. Easy, one, two, three. It's not that hard to communicate with them, but now it's like standing in line in a very, very long line in a DMV or whatever to get your passport, and you know how long those lines are. It's like waiting in that kind of line, and the moment you get up to that person that's checking your stuff out, you get one little wrong problem. Oh, we have an issue here, so you have to go back and try again. And it's like, really? After that one long wait? And then some people don't even get another chance. They have to wait forever. I mean, or they get promised to be checked again, and they don't get checked again. It's like, come on, I don't know. It's not right. And then the other thing is, like, here's the thing. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I mean, there's a lot of things I want to get on, but I don't want to go too crazy. But I might as well just say, it anyways. Well, I don't know. I mean, if we still want to continue this whole ranking criteria topic, I mean, we can still go on before I switch over. I mean, it's up to you though.
yeah, but Bakari just said it's all right now. Actually, you get two beatmap nominators. I think that's what it is, right? And then if you have an issue, it gets resolved within a week. The same beatmap nominators are free to requalify after disqualification issues are fixed. So it's actually pretty easy.
Honestly, I don't really find that easy because the problem is if you could find one and if they could mod your map. I mean, realistically, it's like from what I've seen, some of them seem maybe a bit picky of song choice, or I don't know. I mean, or just getting mods from the community in general. It's like they're just too picky about what's out there. I mean, honestly, I have nothing against like anime theme songs or anything, but that's what they seem to mostly go for. But there's nothing really out of the box like there used to be.
100? Jeez, it's a lot, actually. Now, you're waiting for Bakari to type.
Don't worry, I got patience. I got patience.
Oh no, that's not it. It's kind of boring to the podcast. I'm just thinking we must talk the entire time.
But well, I'll let him finish. But let me see.
So we had a lot of people with various preferences. That's true. Uh, well, we pretty much discussed everything we really needed to about the new ranking criteria because not much
Okay.
has been said about it. It's lasted about an hour. This entire topic.
Hmm.
It's like wow, 1 hour of saying something. Now, we normally would try to criticize something and say how it would help the community, but honestly, we didn't really see much in the help side here. And this is
Let's
probably
see. And with Bakari saying, let me see. So we had up to 100 nominators, and there's a lot of them with various preferences. Let's see, it's easy to get a BN who would like your stuff, and let me see, but then they all went dead or got kicked. Well, I guess like dead as in, well, like not playing or just out of the game, but the only problem is those that could, like your stuff or is more dynamic and modding different types of maps. Which honestly, that was another thing back then. We mapped well and modded like dynamic choices, of maps, not just restricted to mostly anime or night court based. I mean, there's like, maybe some English songs, pop songs, even old English classic songs. I mean, like a dynamic plate full of them. There was even a map that I had to help someone, to get ranked. What was it? It was like, how many offsets was it? Like 52 offsets. I think it was Living on a Prayer. That thing has so many, like, more offsets than a person's birthday. Like seriously. And
Person's
we took,
birthday.
yeah, it was a mission, but we got it done, and that's how it's supposed to be. When you get, like, the team together to help out a player or a mapper to get something they would love to share and create out there and done. That's how it's supposed to be, but it's just too much criticizing and bias going on with things now. It's like people are just like, limiting themselves to what they want to map instead of being more dynamic about it. And even if it's not your choice of music, at least still try to mod it and understand how that music works. I mean, that that's how it's supposed to be. Like, that's how it's been with the bat. That's how it's supposed to be with the QAT and the BNs. It doesn't really matter what type of music you like. I mean, you have to at least understand the types of songs you're dealing with, because you're the beat map moderator technically. You have to be there for the mapper when they need somebody. If you're picky about nightcore and anime maps or only breakcore maps, then you're limiting your choices, and you're limiting the amount of people you could help. And not only that, you're limiting limiting yourself on experience. So you're pretty much hurting yourself and the mapper in both ways. So it's a very dynamic situation to handle. You know, it's that's how I've always looked at it. I mean, you got to look at the big picture with these things, but not everybody likes doing that. I mean, it's really not that complicated. Um, well, yes, BNs are different from QAT and BAT MAT, but honestly speaking, the QAT and BN, it doesn't really feel that much different from the BAT MAT system. It's just the BAT MAT 2.0. That's how I look at it. It's just where technically the mats are, actually checking the maps to get it qualified thoroughly. BNs are non-staff. Well, hmm. Let's see. From Bakari saying BNs are non-staff, hence they are free to handle and pick whatever they want to. Yes, that is true, but honestly, they should still at least try to be more dynamic with what they can mod instead of just being very nitpicky. Because honestly, I mean, it save a lot of effort for the QATs as well, just to help check out other maps and not starve people from mods. I mean, I can understand they're not restricted, but still, they should at least treat it like, like a more serious work. Because if you want to help people, you got to help people. I mean, like, actually step out there and try to help.
I must say that this should be a topic for another time because we could probably talk about this topic for hours. I mean,
Oh yeah.
hours about how this could be going on. So I'm actually going to end the podcast that has been going on for longer than an hour. Holy crap. That was a very
Okay.
long podcast.
All
So
right.
we don't have to end
Well,
the call, of course, but people don't have to hear our lovely conversations.
well, to be honest, this is actually the first podcast chat thing I've actually ever been in.
Same here, and I'm the host. So I've been doing pretty bad. So thanks
um,
everyone for watching all the way through. If you actually watched or just skip to the very end to see what I said, I love cat girls. So if you haven't figured that out yet, yeah, whatever. So anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and I think I said thank you for watching multiple times. So bye.